Welcome to this Divine Voice out of Africa, Marist Vocations. Today I'm greatly privileged to be with Reverend Brother Anthony. Welcome, brother.
Thank you, Brother Ignash. Happy also to have this opportunity to be with you.
That's great. I'm sure that it is a privilege for me to have you around to talk several issues concerning about Marist's life.
Sure.
Let us start our conversation by telling us who you are.
Okay. I'm Reverend Brother Anthony Okoye from Nigeria, a Marist Brother.
That's great. Maybe to our audience, they don't know where Nigeria is located. You can tell them specifically the location of Nigeria.
Oh, okay. Nigeria is located in the western part of the African continent. So Nigeria is one of the West African countries. And of course, in the past, we used to be known as the giant of Africa based on our economy, our strength, population, and of course, the personalities thereof. I don't know for now whether we are still there, but I'm sure maybe someday, sometime, we'll go back to who we have always been, the giant of Africa.
That's great. Everything has origin. How did you get started?
My vocations journey is a very long one, but I don't want to bore my audience with long speeches, storytelling. Probably to be better, I just go straight to the point to say out of my curiosity, disappointment, I ventured into the life of the Brotherhood. When I talk of disappointment, people may say, maybe I tried other life and it wasn't working, so I decided to join the Brothers. Not really. The fact is that the Brotherhood is really not known even from my own locality, my own parish where I was brought up. So I was convinced actually. I was growing up young boy who wanted a better life for himself. And so that was why I did science in the school and I did very well. So I was preparing to become a mechanical engineer. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know which one, but I think fortunately, a priest convinced me of joining the priesthood because of maybe what he has seen in me. Myself, I may not really tell much about that, but I don't know what he saw, but he told me I could make a good candidate to the seminary. So then he promised that after 1 year, I will be able to do that. At the moment, he would like to observe me working in his parish. So I started. But after 1 year, I went back. He was actually not ready to listen to me or to talk to me about what he saw in me. So when I inquired what could be the problem, why he got mute about the whole location stuff, he said that the bishop of his diocese decreed that anybody who wanted to join the seminary must begin from the minor seminary before the major. And myself, I didn't study in the minor seminary, so that opportunity was denied. I felt bad because that was not part of the game plan when we started. So I was also advised that I can go back to my village and join them. And the curate also advised that I could as well join the religious congregation. So I was like, I don't know who the religious people are, so to speak. What does it mean when we talk about religious congregation, order, and all that? So he was the one actually who brought it to my awareness for the first time of who the religious people are. Because according to him, he studied with some of them during his major seminary days. So that was how he knew about them. So he guided me into writing to some congregations. And then eventually, Marist was one of the congregations I wrote to. Of course, not knowing who they are, I thought they were also priests because that was what was in my imagination and awareness. So when I went, I was explained, I was told who exactly the Marist Brothers are, what they do. And I was fascinated in a way because nobody has actually said anything about the brothers. All this while has been the priesthood. So I told them, let me experiment to see whether it is possible. Let me be with them for 1 year. And then if I'm not satisfied, comfortable, or happy, I will leave. So when I started, the first year was really mind-boggling, was enlightening, was enriching because the brothers who were postulants then I met, we are living this life that I've never experienced. I couldn't even actually get that from my family. What it means to live together, what it means to be simple, what it means to share love, what it means to share life. So that really enchanted me, really touched me, and I felt like if I have come to serve God, why would I live So what does it mean to serve God yet I don't want to be here? It means there was something attached or something else. So I felt, let me give it a try once more. So I spent 2 years at the postulate house, and I felt there was still that drive, that passion in me to say, still continue, that there wasn't anything wrong with it. So that was how I continued my religious formation as a brother.
It is a wonderful journey.
Yeah, thank you.
What was your expectation in becoming a Marist Brother? And what is the reality now after becoming a Marist Brother?
Oh, okay. Like I said, during my vocations journey explanation, that what kept me actually was the life I experienced of the brothers. So my expectation when eventually I got to know who the brothers are and what they do, and where, of course, being prepared to really meet the young people, because I had that dream of really letting the young people know that it is possible to break loose from whatever experiences they've had in the past because of my upbringing. So my upbringing really motivated me and also kept me alive in relation to the mission, the charism of the brothers. So my expectation, I don't know what I would say, they are many, because for me, I just have one expectation of the brothers: to really be formed to becoming an apostle of the young people, an apostle of the youth. That is just the only expectation. Whatever that entails, actually is what I really wanted. And the reality for me right now is that I'm gradually becoming an apostle of the youth from all indications and from all my exposure and from all the training that I have been receiving so far. I think I'm getting closer to that dream.
That's great. In Jane, there's ups and downs. What keeps you going on? What strengthens you in this journey of brotherhood?
That's an interesting question, and I'll be very glad to share mine. And what has actually been strengthening me? What has been keeping me going? What has been driving me? What has been behind my upsurge and movement in the life is falling in love with the divine. That's the way I want to describe it. Falling in love with the divine for me really entails knowing the reason of who I am, of my being, who made me, why I'm calling to the life. Because of the nature of the life, for you to stay in it, I think something extraordinary should actually keep you. Because if you're not yourself, you may follow the trends in the society. The way the world see life somehow may also make you move out. So for me, falling in love with the divine really helped me, because I have to understand who actually God is from the little I could gather. And for my own personal life, what God has actually done for me, what He did, what He continuously do in our individual lives is unspeakable. If you've not had experience and encounter with the divine, you may not understand what I'm talking about. But for me, I've had that encounter, and I realize what life is all about. And I think that is what has been keeping me. Falling in love with the divine. And then my exposure, moving out from my culture, has really helped me, because there's a way my culture conditioned my understanding of life, my worldview. But having been let loose somehow, having had the opportunity to really go out, visiting other countries, living with other people with different worldviews, I've come to realize that I wasn't mistaken, staying put in the life and giving it all, because it has also helped to free me from being just myself, but being who I am supposed to be. Because humans are social beings, and you only become your better self in relation to other people when you are able to offer people what they lack, and you gain what you also lack. That complementarity gives life vitality.
That is fantabulous experiences.
Thank
So
you.
my concern, you have been apostle of the youth, you worked with the various activities and school apostolic activities. What has been your challenge and how did you overcome them?
Yes, definitely there is no life without challenges. Whether you're married, whether you're in the priesthood, whether you're in the brotherhood, whether you are single, life has never promised anyone just beds of roses, so to speak. There is always the good part, there is always the challenging part. So in my own life too is same. And I think one of the greatest challenge I've ever faced is the society's perception of the brotherhood. And this has been a stumbling block for some people, because not for me. For me, I think it's a stepping stone towards attaining and realizing my full potential. So for me, I am really not bothered much, but it's a concern for me. And what do I mean by society's perception? Society's perception has actually been the strongest weakness or disadvantage one could actually encounter, in that it predisposed people from actually listening to you. One, they perceive the life to be maybe a stepping stone towards the priesthood. And if you failed to really make it to the priesthood, then you take solace or comfort at becoming a brother. That's too negative. So if somebody is bright, if somebody is brilliant, if somebody is intelligent, the society will expect such a person to join probably the priesthood or do something else in his life. So if they find you the brotherhood, the mindset is that, I think something is wrong somewhere. Maybe he tried, he couldn't make it. Maybe he was bad, maybe he was not living well, so that was why he has to just confine himself there, or just, but not really about that. So that perception is still there, even amongst my people. It's very strong for my own people, because they don't really see the reason why a full-grown man, young, intelligent, vibrant, active, and has a lot to offer the world, will just go and join the brotherhood and remain there. Even the priesthood for them is still not something they really admire as such, but because of the status, the way we also see the priesthood, the way it has been presented to us, that one is manageable, that one somebody can appreciate. But the brotherhood, oh my God, it's really something. But I have actually experienced that. And you see, when that kind of predisposition is there, even when you want to talk, people first and foremost look at you from where you're coming from. Like in today's scripture reading, is it not Joseph's son? So they start looking at where you're coming from. So what do you want to share? What do you think you know? So what can you contribute? It blocks them from opening out to listening to you. And so you can't really pass the message. Even when it's authentic, when it's original, when it is really good, when it makes sense, people still judge you from where they are seeing you coming from. So that's the biggest challenge for me I've actually faced. How have I overcome it? I wouldn't say I've overcome it, because it is still a process. It keeps on going, because I just told myself the truth that the only answer to your critics is when you are successful, when you're able to break through, when you're able to make it. So if I really want people to understand the life, I have to live it well. It's only when you live it well, people will see the genuineness, the reason behind why you are a brother. For me, the brotherhood is a prophetic kind of lifestyle. Because if you want to live it, be prepared. And the best way is to live it well. And if you live it well, I'm sure they will come to realize something good in it. Even when they don't really appreciate it as such. Because living it well means responding to the needs at the time. Being really religious by living your life for God and for the people. And attending to the young people. When you're able to give hope to the young people, they may not appreciate it now, but someday, sometime in their life, they will understand that you are actually serious with what you're talking about. People take those who are serious for who they are, because you are saying you're religious and they are seeing you matching your words to your actions. I think it makes a whole lot of sense, because they say seeing is believing. So that is the way I think I've responded so far to that.
Yeah, that's great. You have said brotherhood is a prophetic life. According to you, what does it mean being a Marist brother?
A Marist brother for me, let me try to generalize in a way that the life of a Marist brother should be prophetic, apostolic, and Marian. If you combine all, then one would say you are a Marist brother. So prophetic, in that you live your religious life to its fullness, where you live pointing to the kingdom. It is prophetic in the sense that it is not what you do that qualifies that life, but who you are in living is what qualifies it. Prophets are not attached to anything that they do, but they only just speak what God wants them to say, saying things the way they are. trying to make others conform to the divine plan and order. I think that is what we are doing, what we are living, just living for the sake of the kingdom. So then the apostolic aspect is ministering to the young people, because we were founded for a particular reason. One is being, which is the brotherhood life. But the other aspect that qualifies it is also living for the people, but more importantly, the young ones, those who never had the same opportunities like their counterparts. So trying to also give them hope to understand that whether they have the money or not, they could still become better people, better young people of their own time by making use of what they have. So ministering to the young people will entail myself also living well. When they see what I do, they are attracted. Young people are looking for identity. So they want people who are authentic, people who mean what they are saying. So when they interact, when they encounter, when they meet with you, and you are able to show them that direction to who they are supposed to be, it makes a whole lot of sense. And when they catch that vibe, the way I want to describe it, they also live to themselves. They may not become like you, but wherever they are, they try to be exemplary. They try to live up to expectation, knowing that you are not also attached to anything, but you are still happy where you are. So happiness is not in wealth and accumulation of it and all that, but you being who you, discovering who actually you are, who you are supposed to be, and where you are going to. So that is the way I see the life of a Marist brother. It should be prophetic, it should be apostolic. Marian, in the sense that simplicity, humility, and modesty now defines it the way it should be. So defining it means that is what you carry, that is what leads you, that is the character, that is the core, and as such, you will never miss the path.
That's great. There is an American scholar who said that the success is not the number of people who save you, but the number of people you save.
Sure.
That's great. How the Marist vocation is responding to the needs of the youth?
The Marist vocation in our institute, the Marist Brothers of the schools, I think so far so good. We are doing well. They are responding to this by the structures that they have put in place. Some of the structures could also be in personal training. When you train those who are to minister well, it also gives them the tools. It disposes them well to be able to respond. And I think so far, especially from this continent, I may not talk much of the European brothers and all that. For Africa, I think we are investing a lot in the training of young apostles of the youth. And this is one way of responding to that, because one needs to be enlightened. One needs to know what the needs of the youths are before you can respond to them. When you don't really know, you cannot respond to what you don't know. So I think one way is this training that we are getting that actually has helped us to realize, first, redeeming ourselves, being happy ourselves, because one gives only what one has. So when you're happy, when you have that sense of who you are, where you're going, then you could direct people to understanding themselves and also being who they are supposed to be. That's one way. Of course, we're also praying for vocation, because the more brothers we have, the more we are able to reach out. Imagine Nigeria, we are up to about 200 million people. And so far, we have brothers up to about 120, 130 something, let me just put it, approximately 135 or so. What is 135 in the midst of 200 million people? So it is really not much. I mean, one cannot put them together. The ratio is just too poor to really analyze. But yet, the fact is not the many people we are touching, but those we have actually touched, are they really enjoying that? Are they benefiting from that? They live up to it, because we are expecting that they will become agents of changes wherever they find themselves. So, but we still need more people so as to reach out to many young people as across the world, because according to our founder, all the dioceses of the world is included in our dreams, in our vision. So we want to reach out to as many as possible. So far, the brothers are responding to that in our own way. We are limited by cultural views, diversities, and quite a lot of things. But I think we are doing that. Like I said earlier, the structures we have put in place. We have our formation houses across all the African countries. Of course, not all. In some parts, we want to also extend it to others. Then there, where we have built our different formation houses and communities, we are able to establish schools to really help them. Much of the young people who have passed through our schools can testify to the quality of education they have received, helping them to become better in their different disciplines across the world, so that there are a lot of testimonies to that effect. So I believe that we are trying. Now, novitiate as well, also across some African countries, are also avenues to really tell who we are and to live among the people. Those people who live in amongst the communities, the neighborhood, the communities around our novitiates across Africa have also been benefiting from that, because the brothers have ample time to go on apostolate, to meeting the sick, the aged, those who really need our help. So far, I think the brothers are responding to that in their own way. It may not be enough, but I think we are heading to where it may be something tangible. But so far, something I think the brothers are doing their best.
That's great. So our founder, Marist Champagne, once he said, to educate children, where you must love them and love them equally. So far, how has been your experience with the young ones?
Hey, yes, I've had the privilege to really head a school in Nigeria, one of the biggest in Nigeria. So I really understand quite well what you're talking about, experiencing the young people in their naturaliness. That is the term I choose to really describe my experience with them. Being with young people is very thrilling, it's very interesting. The young people are just young people. They're very innocent, even though they have a lot in their heads. They have a lot that the society has actually imbued in them. And this is what is causing some of the confusions that they are experiencing. So being with them is really fun, because they ask questions the way they are. They want to know you. They want to see why you are where you are. I know a couple of times that the young people have asked me, but why, brother? You can do something better. Of course, that's the way society has conditioned that perception. So they don't see something really quite outstanding about it. They say, oh, look at you, you're very handsome, you're intelligent, so why here? You can do something better out there. You can marry so that you give birth to beautiful kids and all that. So that is their dream. That is the way they have understood life. And that is true of them, unique of them, natural of them. So being with them gives you an ample opportunity to really evangelize, to make them understand life as it should be, which I try my best. Sometimes they won't understand it because of their age, but don't fail to tell them the reality, the truth. Let it live with them. Let them make their own choices, decisions by themselves, but in the light of what they know is true. At the end of the day, they will take whatever they see. I've always left the young people with this word, with this maxim, I will call it. Don't forget that in life, you will always make choices. Every day of your life, you make a choice. Even in not choosing is a choice. But know it that whatever choice you make, be ready to bear, to take responsibility. So choose wisely. And they've learned that each time they call me back after many years, they've left school and universities, they don't fail to remind me of this, that it has been guiding them. Choose wisely. The choice you make today will tell a lot about your future tomorrow. So, experience with them has been really fantastic. It has been really enriching, because it brings another aspect of my life. Sometimes I don't know that I need to be patient. The young ones taught me to be patient. You keep telling them to do this, do that, they keep doing the same thing over and on, and you keep screaming, you keep shouting. By the end of the day, you ask yourself, the people I'm dealing with, do they even understand life the way I do? Why do I expect them to conform to my own worldview, not to theirs? So I realize, and I have to learn the hard way, to be patient with young people, but not failing to still tell them or guide them, because at the end of the day, they realized what I was talking about and they appreciated it more. But not to talk is another extreme. Then to force them to also understand your worldview the way you've understood it is also another extreme. So that balance is what life is. Life is just about harmony. And I think I learned that a lot with my experience with the young people.
That's great. You have already been the apostle of the year. My other question I would like to ask you, which wisdom, which message would you offer to the young ones in search of their vocation, particularly Marist life?
I will tell them one thing that also have been guiding me. Have your own personal dreams. Live for your personal dreams, but create a space for the divine. Have your personal dreams. Work towards it. Live for it. Do everything to get there. But don't do it in isolation. Do it with God. and He will never miss your part. He will always lead you to where you belong.
That's great. How do you wish to be remembered in this life of service?
I don't really know, because I'm talking about how I wish to be remembered. I don't really know if actually it will be important to be remembered. But such is life. The memories of those who have affected my life positively still live on. So if their memories will still live with me, then definitely I'm sure mine will still live with people, either positively or negatively. So for me, I would just say, anyway, let it be said, let it be known, that there was this brother who lived for the young people, a great apostle of the young people, one who was convinced of his vocation, and one who fulfilled or lived out God's plans and will for his life.
That's
So
great.
that will be okay.
Great apostle of the youth. Do you have anything else would you like to share? Maybe I did not ask you.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Do you have anything else you wanted to share? I did not ask you.
What else I would like to share? Anyway, I will just tell the word. I will tell people, my audience, people out there, that the life of a religious, especially a Marist brother, is hard, is difficult, but it is fulfilling. A trial might convince somebody somewhere out there. The audacity to take that bold step is important. Not everybody likes it because they feel it is demeaning the life. We just a brother. Oh, it is not just a brother. It is the life of a brother. And we are all brothers. But people don't want to, because of the society, like I've explained in my previous explanation. So I would just simply tell them that if you think you value the life you are living, then you should be able to appreciate the life of your brotherhood. But without you understanding your life or valuing your life, then you can't value or understand another life. Because it is flowing from who you are. Because like I have said, it is what you have that you give. If you have love in your heart, you give love. If you don't have, you can give it. So if you don't value the brotherhood because they are called brothers, you don't value your own life because you don't know what value is and you don't have it within you. So that's what I will share with people out there, that, like I said, it is hard, it is demanding, of course, with the perception and all that, but it is really enriching, it is fulfilling, and you will always feel like, I need some more. Thank you.
That's great, you're most welcome. Thank you very much for having honored my invitation. I don't take it granted. I know you are so busy with various activities, but you satisfied this time for me. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you also for also considering me worthy to be part of this, your program. I much appreciated whatever we've done so far, and I'm also happy about it.
Most welcome. Thank you very much for watching us. This was a Divine Voice out of Africa, Marist Brothers. Thank you. See you next time.